The Brotherhood's siege is in vain. I am Dracul, Prince of Darkness.
Hello there, Seraphim 17 once again. This is my Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2 Prince of Darkness video walkthrough. We're about to stumble upon the final Acolyte location because the big spotty priest bishop guy has left and we need to find him. So I'm going to smash some of the stuff around this room because I haven't done it for the majority of the game, and I recommend you do, because it's one of the most fun aspects of this title, is just breaking shit. Because not only do you find experience, but you find relics, and the relics, as I've mentioned, are incredibly good. You also find the artwork, and there's 400 pieces of artwork to find, so the more you break, the quicker you'll get that achievement or trophy, if that's your thing. Or if you just want to look at the art, which the concept art for this game is amazing, and it's well worth looking at. But this is the fight I mentioned in the other video. It's two of the crazy claw monsters and the giant mech, and they look like they're having a good free-for-all, which would be super cool if the AI wasn't so angry at you. As soon as you turn up, they start jizzing at you and shooting you and doing all sorts of madness. So this is me being sneaky and using mist, and I'm going to try and climb. And you'll notice they're already trying to kill me, and they're going to knock me off several times before this works. So what happened to fighting the mech guys? I thought you were having fun over there. Come on, fellas, like, please, just ignore me for 1 second and fight the giant mech, you dirty, jizzy bastards. Come on. There we go. Finally got up. So, you'd think the double jump would just let you get completely up, but it doesn't. And we're going to be backtracking here, because what happens is you and Alucard separate, and Alucard is going to tell you where the other Acolyte is. And I don't know if there's a deliberate trigger for it, but he generally tells you it when you're on your way to it, which is a little bit redundant. Bit of funny trivia here. I got lost in the castle trying to find where this Acolyte was. I know exactly where he is. He is in the castle we began in, you know, in downtown. But navigating this place backwards is just weird. It's got nowhere near the flow, or is nowhere near as fun as it was the way it was intended to be traversed. And once again, it makes me think that this game wasn't meant to allow you to come back. I think probably at an earlier time of development, there wasn't this notion of being able to backtrack as much as you were able to in the final product. But I could be wrong, you know. I would love, as I've mentioned, I would love to talk to somebody from Mercury's team. I'd love to talk to the whistleblower, man, and just hear some of the shit, because there is an immense amount of things wrong with this game. And yet, in spite of them, it still managed to be really fun and have, you know, some really awesome sections, which just goes to show that the team was really capable, and they proved that they were capable on the first one. And it's just really sad that, just imagine what this game could have been if those issues that have been documented, if they're true or false, we don't know, weren't there. Like, it could have been one of the best games this year, but instead it's just going to be this title that everybody remembers for having sections nobody asked for and couldn't understand why they existed, and doing such a U-turn in the design of your game that the things people are noticing are not the awesome things, but the things that don't make sense. And it's a big shame. Like, there's a lot of people already saying that this is one of the most disappointing games of the year, which it might sound really harsh to the people that like it a lot, but there hasn't been that many games out this year, so it's easy to say that. Because what's your competition? Thief? And Thief, to some people hate Thief. Some people like Thief. I happen to quite enjoy it. I understand that, you know, the stealth on it's kind of old school, and the game itself really doesn't need to exist, but, you know, it was playable, and I had fun. And you can say the exact same for this. It's just, I think the people who are fans of this game are more passionate than the fans of the Thief reboot. And they don't have anything to compare the Thief reboot to, because, you know, they're rebooting an old series. People who really care about Castlevania already didn't like Lords of Shadow because it was just God of War, so those people have already kind of left. The only people that are left are the people that really loved Lords of Shadow, and I'm interested to see what they think, because it's often, you know, your most devoted fans that fall the furthest. But here we go, pressing a button and waiting for a door to open, and if you think this looks boring, you're right, and it happens all the time in this game because it's poorly optimised. And when you drop down here, you're going to notice that there's a ton of bad guys that turn up, and they're the huge things. So instead of just going that way, if you go under here, you can get directly to the cutscene, and we can get as quickly to the next sequence of boss fights as we can. And this is literally the end of the game, guys. We've come full circle, back to the castle, back to this alleyway, and here is Alucard once again. So after the cutscene, there's going to be a little bit of platforming as you follow the crazy purple spectral light, which I have absolutely no idea what it is, why it's there, but it is. And we move into the church, and there's going to be some interesting cutscenes, and then we're going to do some crazy batshit stuff to do with Satan, so hopefully you're looking forward to that bit. I know I am, because the Satan fight is probably going to challenge a lot of people until you realise how to fight him, because he's very fast, and you haven't really fought any bosses that have been this fast. And here we go again with another Mirror of Fate sequence. Hooray! But that's actually a really good point. I don't know what they're doing with the DLC for this game. I know there's DLC planned. I know there's some costume DLC, which... Why don't these games have multiple costumes anymore? That was one of the most enjoyable parts of action games for me. Just wearing twatty costumes. You know, some of them were awesome, some of them were horrible. Ninja Gaiden 2, a million costumes. Some of them good, some of them not so good. You know, Devil May Cry is a million costumes. Nowadays, no costumes. I like them. I want them to come back. Like even God of War. In God of War, you could play as a fish. You could play as the God of War. Come on, guys. Bring the costumes back. Like, this game, for all intents and purposes, looks beautiful. Gabriel's model of Dracula looks fantastic. Let's give him some silly outfits and some awesome ones. Like, just look how cool Alucard looked. I want some suits like that, man. But that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.